and open. From pitch to print, this is Grant Magazine. Grant Magazine is led by the editors-in-chief, or the EICs. As a team, they make decisions for what will be in the magazine and do the majority of editorial work. We have story editors who do a smaller amount of editing, managing editors who manage the finances and funding, our online editor edits the website and social media accounts, and the design editor creates the layout and design of the magazine, using visuals created by our photographers and illustrators. The rest of the staff is made up of reporters whose job is to write the stories you see in the magazine. The first step is the pitch. Each reporter writes a budget line, which details the story you'll be pitching to the rest of the magazine.
So everyone gets a pitch, and sometimes you can pitch it with another person or on your own, and you can do creative writing, news obviously, but also opinion pieces, photo spreads, basically anything you want to do, so it's a lot of creativity.
The EICs create a spreadsheet after the pitch meeting. The spreadsheet is then sent to staffers, showing every reporter who's writing what, who each person's editors are, and how many pages every story will be. This is the reporter's guide for the next issue. Those first 2 weeks are the most important part of creating a story. This includes interviewing, getting visuals, and writing the bulk of a story. Interviewing is a crucial part of writing for Grant Mag. Having notes and questions prepped for an interview helps the conversation flow and ensures that reporters get all the information they need. In addition to notes, we record our interviews as well. We use Otter AI, a transcription service, to record our interviews. It will record audio and write out your conversation using AI tools. Editors will check your recordings as part of the fact-checking process.
So last year we implemented fact-checking to really prioritize our commitment to journalistic integrity and factual reporting. Fact-checking looks like checking every fact, name, place, and claim that reporters make in their stories. So reporters have to either leave a comment or link a source for every factual statement they make, and we then go in as editors and check every single statement. So it takes a lot of time, but it's really important for ensuring our journalistic integrity as a publication.
Once the story is written, the reporter will send it to their main editor for the first round of edits.
When I put in the first round of edits, I'm really looking at kind of the general flow of the story. Is the story does it make sense? Is it structured in a way that flows and is easy for the readers to read? Is there continuity in the topics that are brought up? And is anything out of context? And so I kind of go in and I smooth that out.
Editors will comment on stories and send them back to the reporters to implement edits. There are 2 rounds of edits with the main editor before the story is sent to sweep.
Sweeps are kind of like, it's getting a second round of eyes on the story, so you're doing everything that the first round editor does, but just from a new perspective. So there's still a lot of depth to this round of editing, but of course it's going to be a little quicker because the story's already been polished by that first round.
After sweep is copy edits, and the third editor that will be looking at the story.
So you really want to make sure that it's polished, it's a polished piece, and it's less about content, less about word choice and flow, but more about kind of is commas in the right place? Is this formatted right? Is it all grammatically correct?
After writing and editing, stories are sent to the design editor to be laid out in the magazine.
So I use InDesign to lay everything out, and then oftentimes I'll go into Photoshop or Lightroom to kind of mess around with visuals and do like small tweaks to get it what I want it to look like. First part of my job is to take that list of stories and put them in order of how they're going to appear in the magazine. And I kind of do that by the general vibe of each story and how I think it flows, and then also the length of each story. Next, once I'm actually ready to design a story, the first thing I do is I always look at the visual or the visuals, and that really guides the colors that I'm going to use. If there's a font or if there's type in the visual, then I can kind of pull that font out and use that for the heading. And so the visuals really guide my design. I think that as a magazine, it's such a visual medium, and so I think it's really important to have everything cohesive and flow.
When Lucy has finished the design, the staff are sent a PDF of the magazine for proofing. Proofing is basically a 4th round of editing, where every member of the magazine catches any final mistakes.
And people catch if someone's name is misspelled or if a place is spelled wrong, and if there's like a really egregious spelling mistake. So it's really, really helpful, but it's also a really great chance for staff members who aren't in a leadership position to show their strengths editing and to show what they've learned with AP style and just grammar and fact-checking.
The editors-in-chief will work with Lucy to make any final changes before the magazine is sent to print.
Is Eric Clampett, and I'm project manager here at Premier Press. So when we receive the PDF, we run it through our EP department, which is our electronic pre-press department. And what they do is they take a look at the files that we received and we make sure that they're ready to go to print. When they go to print, we send it to the T250, which is our fully digital wet press.
Our paper comes on large rolls, and we load up the rolls, run through, these are all the inks.
When it comes off of the T250, it's cut down into what we call signatures, which are little groups of the book.
This is a very, very precise hydraulic ran cutter. So it can take massive amounts of sheets and cut through them at the same time.
That goes to our bindery, and at our bindery, it's folded and stapled. Once it's folded and stapled, it gets boxed up, and then once it's boxed up, it gets shipped over to you guys.
Once the magazine is printed, Grant Magazine staff hand out the latest issue around the school. This is our process, all the way from pitch to print.